Today's Focus News. CIA Director, China's plans for Taiwan affected by war. CIA Director William Burns said Saturday that China is closely watching Russia's conflict in Ukraine, which is influencing Chinese leaders' thinking about Taiwan. Burns, speaking at a Financial Times event in Washington, said the Chinese government was alarmed by Ukraine's strong resistance to Russian aggression and the economic cost to Russia. I think the Chinese leadership is looking very carefully at all of this, the costs and consequences of any effort to use force to control Taiwan, Burns said. CIA Director William Burns said Saturday that China is closely watching Russia's conflict in Ukraine, which is influencing Chinese leaders' thinking about Taiwan. Burns, speaking at a Financial Times event in Washington, said the Chinese government was alarmed by Ukraine's strong resistance to Russian aggression and the economic cost to Russia. I think the Chinese leadership is looking very carefully at all of this, the costs and consequences of any effort to use force to control Taiwan, Burns said. However, he warned that this would not divert Chinese President Xi Jinping's long-term goals to Taiwan. I don't think it in any way weakens Xi Jinping's resolve to control Taiwan, Burns said. But I think it affects their calculations of how and when to do that. China has refused to condemn Russia's war in Ukraine and criticized Western sanctions against Moscow. Beijing and Moscow, which announced an unrestricted strategic partnership weeks before the February 24 invasion, have been forging closer energy and security ties in recent years to counter the United States and the West. However, Burns said the United States felt China was disturbed by the reputational damage related to the barbaric military operations of Russian President Vladimir Putin. I think Putin's painful experience with Russia in Ukraine over the past 10 or 11 weeks on many fronts shows that this friendship does have some limitations, Burns said. Separately, U.S. Representative Mark Green said on Thursday that if Beijing invaded Taiwan, China would face a more unified response than Russia is now facing. Green made the remarks while appearing on the News Nation show On Balance with Leland Vittert, when Vittert asked, if they invade Taiwan, can the world come together against China? Yes, I think so, Green said, adding, while you kind of look at the differences between China and Russia, I suggest you look at the economic differences between Taiwan and Ukraine. Taiwan makes 94% of high-end semiconductors. The West cannot tolerate China's control over Taiwan, he said. So we will absolutely fight back. Everyone will be united, maybe even more so than Ukraine, he added. Green said the United States could and should do more to help Taiwan defend itself. What we're trying to do is make the consequences of China's attack on Taiwan so great that they choose not to. That's real deterrence, he said. Today's news glossary. Absolutely. Affected. Affect. Against. Aggression. Alarm. Announce. Appear. Attack. Balance. Barbaric. Calculation. Carefully. Condemn. Conflict. Consequence. Criticize. Damage. Defend. Deterrence. Director. Disturbed. Divert. Economic. Effort. Energy. Event. Experience. Financial. Forging. Friendship. Front. Goal. Influence. Invade. Invasion. Leader. Leadership. Limitation. Long-term. Military. More. Operation. Painful. Partnership. Percent. Plan. President. Recent. Refuse. Related. remark, representative, reputational, resistance, resolve, response, sanction, security, semiconductor, separately, strategic, suggest, tolerate, unify, united, unrestricted, weaken.